Woo! What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So, bringing you another customizing the Harley video. So this is for all my riders out there. And you don't have to ride a Harley for this video. You can ride any bike. It's going to be fairly universal. What I did is I went and I got some of the big bags, some of the extra large bags from Viking bags right there. You can see that. These are plastic clip. So this is just decorative. Plastic clip there, plastic clip there, two there, and Velcro there. Plus, these are locking. Oh yeah. So there's two ways you can do this. You can do a throw over, boop, or you can solid mount it. Luckily, the throw overs are held on by wing nuts, and you can take that big thing off to give you a nice flat side if you want to hard mount it. Hard mounting is what I'm doing. I'm making this a permanent structure on my bike. So much, in fact, that I'm going to use red Loctite. Who knows? Maybe I'll regret that later. But it's not like it can't get undone. But it's just a little stronger, a little more secure. When you have a bike, you know, Harley especially, you get a little bit of vibration. You don't want those bolts coming loose. So this is what I did. It comes with all kinds of hardware like this, and it comes with hardware for your relocation brackets for your blinkers. It comes with yada yada yadas. It comes with these kind of brackets. I've seen the long ones that they have, and even on like the videos, and even when you go to the website, it doesn't show the coffin style bracket. It shows like these strips. These I like. It's simple. The thing is, I don't like the hardware. The hardware doesn't even mount up inside the Harley because the Harley uses a, what is it, 3/8/16 or 3 something. I don't know. You'll figure it out. You know what it is if you have a Harley. So I went out and I bought my own hardware over at Rocky's just because I want it done my way. And I want to do this simple. Very, very simple. So what I did is I measured the distance from the center of this one to the center of this one. And those are just star bits. And it is exactly 10 inches on center. So that was pretty simple. They have pre-done holes right here that you can use to get started. You could choose one or two if it fits, depending on your bike. There's 4 things. So if you have a bike that fits all 4, use all 4. So what I did is I measured 10 inches from this one to this one. So I'm going to mount up in there. I was going to use this one. Let me get that out of the way. This one, the taillight relocation spot, but that hole doesn't go all the way through, and this is a smaller piece, so I had to use this one. So that's why the mark was here. But all I did is I went to the hole I'm using. I put that. I bent this one in because I want it to be secure this way, and this one is just like this. All I did is I lined this hole up, and I drilled a hole right there. Then I lined this one up at 10, and I drilled a hole right there. Then I lined this one up like that. I put it, boom, I drilled a hole right there. So you only need to drill 3 holes, and it's pretty simple because they give you a base, right? They give you one to start with. So I start with this one, I go down, and that's how it is. Remember, don't use this one if you have a Harley because this one is a different size. So very, very simple. The way they do it is so, I mean, it's awful. The directions don't even have pictures on it. And if you know anything about me, I don't read a book without pictures, so I'm not going to read directions without them. So literally 10 inches, boom, boom, boom. What it's going to look like when it sits up is just like this. It's going to sit really, really nice. Let me make sure I'm lined up there on the right one. Oh, right there. So this is exactly what I'm looking at right there. And there's going to be 2 of them, obviously. And these are leather hard bags, so they're not the soft leather. Tons of room in here, tons of room. I think it's the second largest one they make. The fact that it has locks is very, very nice. It even has a little pouch on the inside of each one, so you can put your registration or whatever you have in there. So another good thing is it hides this ugly blinker, and it gives you enough clearance from the pipe, so it's going to be A-okay. So now that I did that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bag, line it up with the other bag using my trusty dusty white pencil, and I'm going to line up that bag with this one and mark the holes so I can drill it. It's that easy. So hold on. All right, as I'm doing this, I figure I'll show you this. This big bracket right here is thick. So what I was thinking, I didn't know this comes off. I was thinking I was just gonna have to take a razor and cut this, and I was gonna have the sloppy thing in there. But then I opened it, I looked inside, I lifted this little guy right here, and that's when I saw wing nuts. So I got really excited because I knew all I have to do is spin the wing nuts to get this off, and then the whole thing will come off. Let's see. Let's do it together. Let's do it in real time and see how long it takes to get the brackets off, because that's one wing nut. Now I just go to the next one. It's literally this easy. It's this easy. And lining up the bowls, they tell you, if you go to the video, it's like, oh, you got to line up, use a level and go from this. No, all you have to do is measure 10 inches across. If you have an M8 Harley, yours might be a different spacing. Measure center to center on these two, and then it's what's, oh, by the way, boop, that's it. That's all it was. So I measured from bottom, this straight line right here, up. It was 7.5 inches from here to here. So 7.5, and then I needed to do 7.5 over here, but the problem was this angle is here, so I drilled here. There is no 7.5 to right here. So what I did is, you have 7.5 to right there, that's good. So then I took my 10 inches and I made, well, first I did 7.5 from here to here. I made a mark, kind of look like this. This is what I did. 7.5 inches is here. So then I went to here where there's still a bottom piece, and I went 7.5 and I marked it. Then I took a straight, my level, and I just made a line going all the way across. Then I measured from there to there, 10 inches, and, well, no, 10 inches is what I was going to do. Then I went to the next hole, and it was less. So I went from here to here. I made a little plus, and those were my two, and I knew it was, even without this, it was 7.5 inches because I measured it twice and then used a straight line. So it was really, really simple. This is not hard at all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this flat on the ground like this. I'm going to put the other bag on top of it, make sure it's all even, and I'm just going to mark the holes that I already have drilled. Hold on. All right, so as you can see, I have one bag on the ground. I have another bag on top of it. I'm just lining up the edges so they're perfectly aligned. And once they are perfectly aligned, I'm just going to mark the holes drilled on the other side, and that means I don't have to re-measure anything. So it's going to be very, very simple. I just got to find my little hole, stick in my pencil, find my little hole. Got to find my hole, stick in my pencil, and that is it. And once I mark my little holes, I'll show you. Okay, so pretty simple. I lined up my holes. 1, 2, 3 is all I have to drill. So let's put you guys like this. We'll bring it down a touch. Try to adjust this so you can actually see something here. And all I'm gonna do is take my drill. Oh, I'll bring it over here, make it easier for me. And hope my cord reaches. It does, because it's corded. So I'm just going to center up. That's one. That's two. That's 3 holes. That's that easy to do the holes. So now it's just lining them up, lining up the brackets, putting in the hardware, right? So the brackets are really cool. I do like the brackets. Let's go right here. This is how it comes. It's coffin. Now there's a flat side right here and then a cut side. So the flat side you're gonna want against your bag. So I know it's gonna be just like that. My bag will be there, and this one I think it goes like this or whatever, however I drilled it, and then this one will be down here like this. So I'll have enough security to where it'll bow in. Now the point of not doing the throw over and doing the actual bolt on is they can hold more weight, so it's going to be sturdier and just a whole lot better. Let me look at my trusty dusty bolts here and get a couple of them out. So now I want to make sure I got some 2-inch bolts. I want to make sure that they're going to go. I got some lock washers and even a lock nut. So what I'm going to do is actually leave that on there. I'm going to line this up and make sure that that is going to have plenty of room to thread in which it will. So that means I'm not even gonna need this. I got this for extra security. So that's gonna be it. It's just gonna go in just like that. It's gonna hold on, and I'm going to have a nice mount there. So what I wanna do is take it off, and that gives me about that much space, a little bit less because there's gonna be bags. So I'm gonna have about a 1/2 inch drilled in there, which should hold me on quite a bit. And with the Loctite, I probably don't even need the lock washer, which means it'll give me a little bit more reach in there. So 2 inches should be fine. I could have went with 2.5, and I just don't want to go through and have anything sticking out and then the tire jumping up on it. So that's why I'm going with this. So let me line up my bag and get this first one going, and then I might even take this one out now. As a matter of fact, I was going to do one at a time, but if I take it out now, no, I'll wait. I want to see how the first one is going to go. I just don't want it to shift. You know, I don't want the fender to shift on me. So let's see how this is going to go. Now I do have this little clip on the bottom that was for the throw over, but I don't need it, so I'm just going to take it off. I'm going to line up this bracket with this hole and just see how it fits. Now let's see, I believe it's this one. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put that in there, just line up that little bracket. And now I'm going to try and close this a little bit just so I can see. And I'm going to line this up, and I'm only going to just do a test fit right now with my hands. I'm going to hand tighten it just to see how that's going to go, because I want to make sure. Oh, I didn't tighten it enough. I didn't give myself enough, so I need to put that in a little bit. Now you can see how to do it wrong. You can be like, well, I'm not listening to the fumbling idiot, but eventually even the fumbling idiot gets it right. So I just got to get it started, and then maybe just torque it down a little. Just let me see. No, it looks like it's in there. All right, so that's it right there. Once the other one goes in, that's what it's going to look like. That's super easy. Now I think I can mount it because I can turn the bag to get the other bracket in there, and that is going to be super easy. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me open up my Loctite. For all my brothers at a blade out there, there's my Loctite. We do, you know, what's in your pocket type thing. I still have, if you guys remember my Arizona video, I still have my little switchblade made in China that I got at the gas station out there. It was like a little roadside store in Oatman, Arizona, and I mailed it back to myself because I can't take it on a plane. But I still have it. I still use it. This thing's been in my pocket for the last couple days, and works like a freaking champ. So now I have that open. I'm just going to close that up a little bit. Take this, get my bolt back out of there. I'm going to rewind it. Now that I know it's going to fit perfect, well, let's undo that, and I have to make sure I have the right Allen head, which obviously I do, but I just got to pull it out here. The last time I pulled it out, there was some trouble. All right, so here we go. That's not the right size. That's not, I should have known that. Should have known that. Let's see, it might be, this one's too big. Yep, I went right in between. What is it, it's a 1/4 inch? Nope. Let me see. I don't even know which one it is. Let me find which one it is. It was the 5/16. Of course it was. Of course it was. Who didn't know that? I knew that. And if you believe that, I'll tell you another one. All right, so I'm just going to red Loctite the entire end of this here, so I get it nice and goopy and gooey. So that thing is going to slide right in there. It is going to screw in, and it is going to hold for sure. I got my bracket and I got my bag. So I'm going to take my screw, I'm going to put it in the hole without getting everything everywhere, and I'm going to put my wrench right on that so it's ready to go. And now I'm going to take my bag, put the screw through the bracket just like that, very easy. And now I'm just going to mount that thing. I'm gonna mount it like a, never mind. We are just gonna mount it. Woohoo! Mount it like a furless, two-legged horse. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get that in there nice and snug. I gotta make sure now that I'm actually threading it. I don't want to just spin for nothing here. So I am going to spin this, and it is definitely going in, and I'll show you the next step. All right, so I got that on. So the next step is just taking out the next hex, which with my T45, line it up, and start to loosen that. And once it gets going, I can start to spin it out and see if I can't get it by hand. If not, I'll just keep on going. Keep on going. So I didn't torque down that first one because I wanted to make sure I could spin the bag to get to the next hex nut. So once this thing pops out, just like that, now I am ready to line up my next bolt. I'll take off the washer and nut that I didn't end up needing. I'm going to put some red Loctite on it, which is basically like glue for nuts and bolts. Put that on there, get that nice and goopy, and I'm going to slide that right through there, and then do the same thing. I should probably grab the other mount because you can't really mount it without the mount. All right, that gives you a good time to look at my fumbling and bumbling. So now I have this ready to go. Going to put down my, right there, I'll put that down, open this up, and line this up right with that hole. Bada boom, bada bing. That's all the hard part. Now, doing this solo can be a pain in the nuggets. It's always better to have an extra hand, but I wanted to show you that if I can do it solo, anybody can do it solo. And you know, any guy trying this, I mean, think about it. We spent our entire youth doing things solo. So I'm just going to get it started. Hopefully, I got to make sure I'm even in there. The problem is the fender will push away a little, so the area where you have to screw into kind of backs out. So you have to really line it up so you can get it in there nice and straight, because you don't want to cross your threads either. All right, so I'm going to line that up, but you can see what we're talking about. Now I'm doing it by myself, one-handed pretty much, and you can see how cool that is. These are cool bags. Okay, so with those things torqued nice, but not all the way, I'm just going to go to these two holes in here and put in the shorter ones, and I got some 1-inch, but I do have some nuts and lock washers because there's nothing to screw into. It's just going straight through. Now I went with a thinner, I had to go with a thinner bolt because the holes in the brackets don't fit. Even the hardware that I think it came with, I don't even think it fits. So I'm going to try and just line this up with the bracket by just shifting it until the hole finds itself. Let me see if I can find it. Trying to find that hole, man. I should have spit on it first. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, I see my finger. I feel it. I feel it. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. I lost it. All right, so let me see. Let me see. Okay, that definitely fits through. That goes through there. I'm gonna bend this just a little bit so I can find that hole. I think I'm lined up. It's really hard doing this all by yourself. But again, there we go. I think I got it in. It's not impossible. Okay, I definitely got it in there. So now I'm gonna take on my little nut. And I got the nuts with the lock washers built on. Oh, you know, I lined it up. I forgot to do my Loctite, so I'm gonna take off the nut and Loctite it and put it back on. Hold on. Okay, so the first bag is mounted. I hand tightened everything. Now I could have went a little bit lower, could have brought it closer to the pipe, but I wanted to follow this line right here. So that looks pretty good. You can see how that is right there. Man, that's not so bad. So now I'm just gonna throw on the second one. I'll show you the finished product. All right, so here we go. Viking bags, Softail standard. Now you'll notice the lid height is above the fender height. I did that on purpose. That way if I do a bag to strap around the seat if I travel, I won't be on my custom one-off paint job, which I would hate to ruin. So look at that. And with a shorter fender, you don't want the bags to go too low. Normally what you do is you can bring them 1 inch above the pipe, and mine are about 2 inches above the pipe. But when the bike is straight, it looks like that. So you can't really, that really doesn't tell, you don't notice that. But man, those got some crazy storage capacity. Now, usually when you mount a bag, you want to jump right on it and go. But remember, it takes Loctite about 10 minutes to set. So give yourself 10 minutes of walking around and appreciating your work. And man, then go for a ride. There's my La Rosa bag that I had on the fork mount, but it holds enough. It held a jacket, and it held a jacket, some glasses, and a helmet. There's still a helmet in there. Well, what I call a helmet. But these things right here, these things are just way, way better. So that's it, guys. That's a Viking bag mount. It literally, it's drilling 3 holes per side and then just lining it up on 2 mounts, and you can see how those are right in there. Those are sweet, man. Those are pretty sweet. That looks mighty, mighty nice. So I'm gonna go for a little ride, get my ride on. I also took a small bag here and rose it above there so it's behind the windshield. It's perfect. It's great for all your immediate stuff. Or not even the windshield, like the screen, because I don't have a windshield. But golly, those are sweet, man. Those are absolutely sweet. Good hard bags. All right, well, that's it for me. That's another one done. Time to ride. I am Donnie B all day. Till next video.